Earlier, we spoke of the 6 individuals from Medina who accepted Islam during the pilgrimage season in the 11th year of prophethood. These men pledged to convey the message of Islam to their people back home. The following year, during the pilgrimage, 12 men returned to Mecca, ready to pledge allegiance to the Prophet Muhammad. 5 of them were from the original 6, with only Jabir bin Abdullah bin Riyab absent. The remaining 7 were Muadh bin al-Harith, ibn Afra, from the Khazraj tribe. Dakwin bin Abd al-Qays, from Khazraj. Ubadah bin Az-Samit, from Khazraj. Yazid bin Nalaba, from Khazraj. Al-Abbas bin Ubadah bin Nadala, from Khazraj. Abul Haytham bin At-Tayhan, from AWS. Uwaym bin Sa'ida, from AWS. These 12 men expressed their belief in Muhammad as the messenger of Allah and swore an oath with the following commitments. To worship none but Allah. To abstain from theft. To avoid adultery. Not to kill their children. Not to spread slander or forge falsehood. Not to disobey the Prophet in anything righteous. Upon taking the pledge, the Prophet said, "Whoever fulfills this pledge, Allah will reward him. Whoever commits any of these sins and is punished for it in this life, that punishment will serve as atonement. But if his sin remains hidden and he is not punished, then his matter rests with Allah, he may forgive him or he may punish him." Bukhari 1/550, 2/727, 2/1003. The first Muslim envoy to Medina. After this oath was taken, the Prophet dispatched Musa bin Umair al-Abdari to Medina, then Yathrib, as the first Islamic envoy. His mission was to educate the new converts, explain the principles of Islam, and call others to the faith. He was hosted by Azad bin Zurara, and through their combined efforts, Islam began to spread rapidly, reaching households and tribes alike. One day, Musab and Azad visited the tribes of Bani Abd al-Ashal and Bani Zufar. They stopped near a well and began speaking with a few recent converts. Word reached Sa'd bin Muadh and Usaid bin Hudair, leaders of those clans. Displeased, Usaid approached them with his spear, while Sa'd hesitated because of his familial relation to Azad. Usaid, angry and cursing, accused the two of misleading their people. Musab responded calmly. "Why not sit down and listen? If our message appeals to you, you may accept it. If not, you're free to ignore it." Usaid agreed, planted his spear in the ground, listened, and heard verses of the Quran being recited. What happened next marked the beginning of profound change among his people. His face bespoke satisfaction and pleasure before uttering any words. MSNIU 94 of approval. He asked the 2 men about the procedures pertinent to embracing Islam. They asked him to observe washing, purge his garment, bear witness to the truth and then perform 2 rak'ah. He responded and did exactly what he was asked to do, and then said there was a man, Sa'd bin Muadh, whose people would never hang back if he followed the Islam. He then left to see Sa'd and his people. Sa'd could immediately understand that Usaid had changed. To a question posed by Sa'd, Usaid said that 2 men were ready to comply with whatever orders they received. He then managed a certain situation that provided the 2 men with a chance to talk with Sa'd privately. The previous scene with Usaid recurred and Sa'd embraced Islam, and directly turned to his people swearing that he would never talk with them until they had believed in Allah, and in his messenger. Hardly did the evening of that day arrive when all the men and women of that sept of Arabians embraced Islam with the exception of one, Al-Uzarim, who hung back until the day of Uhud. On that day he embraced Islam and fought the polytheists but was eventually killed before observing any prostration in the way of prayer. The Prophet, commented saying, "He has done a little but his reward is great." Musab stayed in Medina carrying out his mission diligently and successfully until all the houses of Al-Ansar, the future helpers, had Muslims elements, men and women. One family only stood obdurate to the Islamic dawah, call. They were under the influence of the poet Qays bin al-Aslat, who managed to hold them at bay and screen off the call of Islam from their ears until the year 5 shortly before the approach of the following pilgrimage season, i.e. the 13th year of prophethood. Musa bin Umair returned to Mecca carrying to the Prophet, glad tidings about the new fertile soil of Islam in Medina, and its environment rich in the prospects of good, and the power and immunity that city was bound to provide to the cause of Islam. Ibn Hisham 1/435, Zod al-Ma'ad 251.